Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna get the ball rolling here real quick because I gotta get caught up. We are taking this beat up body here of a perfectly working DS Lite, and we're gonna go ahead and migrate it over to a new shell. We're gonna install a Type-C port on it. It's getting an upgraded Sino battery, along with replacement PCB for the dust cover slot, and a brand new touch digitizer to go along with it. This is just a full-blown restore of this model here. So without further ado, I will just get going on it. I'm doing a lot of DS Lites. These are very popular. I think this is my 5th or 6th one now. So as a beginner at repairing retro consoles, this is the one I've seen the most of so far. And it's nice. I'm getting used to doing these. I'm getting quicker at them. Not quick enough yet, but definitely getting quicker at them. Find myself lucky to have made some decent connections that are rooting for me, and wanting me to give me the chance to get really good at this. I think they see the talent that I have, and got some faith in me. So I very much appreciate that. So what we're doing right now is just taking out all the screws for the back plate. I wanted to get in a little bit more detail about this, but I'm starting off with a Phillips 00. And what I did is I took off the battery compartment, took off the one screw in the upper right-hand corner here, removed both bumper pads on the back, and under there is 2 Phillips screws. Now the rest of it is tri-wings to at least get into the body. So we got the one black screw that's above the slot 1. And pull that one out. And then we should have 3 more tri-wings right here, here, and here. One, 2, and 3. All right. Then after that, the body lifts right up, and I find it easier to lift the slot 1 side first, usually. Breaking the body away for the first time is usually a little bit more finicky than it usually is. Okay. There we go. There was a couple parts in here we may reuse, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that aside. These shoulder buttons, it's a lot easier if they come out. They're spring loaded, so put your finger by the spring, gently lift, and tilt it out. The reason that you're going to do that is because that pin that's inside there will easily fall out. I'd like to try and keep those in one piece. That way that's all just held together. There we go. Next thing we need to do is switch back to our Phillips head. We should be done with the tri-wing until we have to put it back together. And we're going to take out the 2 screws that are holding in the motherboard. We got 1 and 2. Okay, next thing we have to do is remove the Wi-Fi cable, the speaker cable, and I think it's easier if you just take off the Wi-Fi chip altogether. Now that part that's hard to come up is just a sticky adhesive. Just give it a pull, it's not going to hurt anything. The other thing we have to do, and this is kind of a pain in the rear, is route the Wi-Fi cable underneath the cartridge slot. And it typically just slides out. Sometimes it feels like it's getting caught on something. It's not. It's just struggling to lay flat. So just kind of jiggle it around and then, you know, apply a little bit of pressure to get that out. Okay, next thing you want to do is you want to just lift up from the bottom. The screen should just pop and go with it, but we want to make sure that we fold it over and we don't pull. We're going to need to flip this tab right here and then carefully remove the ribbon cable. If you're having trouble, get a plastic pry tool and get in on the side here. It should pop right out. Okay. Now, since we're doing a Type-C port on this, what we're going to want to do is take off the bottom screen. We're going to need to do that later anyways, so that we can replace the digitizer. So carefully lift up the digitizer tab right there and then pop that out. And then lift up the ribbon cable tab on the, this would be the left-hand side of the DS Lite. And then carefully pull the screen out there and put it aside. Great. Now I'm going to take the rest of this and put it aside. I'd like to get the Type-C port in before I do anything else. So I'm going to use my little PCB cradle here. If you do a lot of soldering, I highly recommend one of these. I tried the alligator clips. I really don't like those. These PCB, what do you call them? Vices, I guess is what it would be called. They work a lot better for me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and tighten the top so it doesn't move very much. We'll probably want to loosen that later, but for right now, it's fine. Okay. Just putting a little bit of liquid flux on here, and we're going to weaken the solder points with... Where did I put my solder? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're going to weaken those solder points with some 60-40. The solder on these is just old, and without putting in a bit of fresh solder and mixing that up. Come on, there we go. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Without mixing some new fresh solder into there, the new fresh solder kind of helps weaken everything up. Make it, well, not necessarily weaken it, it's actually a bit stronger. But it does make the ability to desolder everything a lot smoother. It just heats up the solder a lot quicker, makes it molten. I'm not actually sure what the exact science is behind it. I should find out. Okay. I do have an ultrafine tip for later when I add a little bit more solder to the ends of the Type-C port. And before I get going here, I actually should find my Type-C port. Wherever the hell I put that. I'm really good at misplacing stuff. Not quite sure why I do that. I'm actually starting to think, one of my friends told me I might have some ADHD going on. I guess that's a possibility. Shoot. Well, no worries. I got another one. Let me dig it out real quick. There's a chance I put it back earlier. That's exactly what I did. Ugh. All right. Now, we're not quite ready for this yet, but let my reflow station warm up just for a second. Doesn't take very long. Okay. And we're just gonna work. We're gonna work the hot air over this until the solder joints get molten. You're gonna see some smoke. That's just the flux burning a little bit. And it's getting there. Now I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm just going to give it a gentle nudge. It's not really ready yet then. Oh, it's getting there. There we go. It pretty much just falls right out. Now, we'll use that again in a second, but what I'd like to do is clean up the area a little bit and just get some fresh solder in there. Okay. So I'm just taking some solder wick here and letting it flow into the holes. Nice. All right, that's nice and clean. Let's see. Just gonna give that a quick little clean here. And we're gonna go ahead and loosen this up for a little bit. There's a little crud here. Excuse me while I use some compressed air. Okay. So yeah, let's loosen this up and get ready to turn the board a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to want to do here is add a little bit of solder to this. Not a lot, just enough to cover the holes. We'll do a little bit more on that side. Okay. So the reason we're turning this is because we need to lay, we're going to go in underneath this time with the hot air, and then we're going to lay the Type-C port on top of it. I'm just going to make sure that there's plenty of solder on here underneath. Again, I'm just adding a little bit at a time. I want nice little domes. I don't want an overflow of solder on this. Just want to make sure there's enough for it to grab onto. Just tiny little peaks. Kind of like speed bumps. Okay. So here we go with the hot air again. We're going to go from underneath this time. And I'm going to have to get this a little closer to me. And I'm going to take... Oh. Now I'm taking my tweezers and I'm going to get ready to set this as soon as it gets molten enough. Now I am kind of moving this back and forth. I'm not just trying to keep it in one place to burn it, but sorry, I'm using a little bit of focus here to align this. It's almost there. It's not quite where I want it though. That's looking pretty good. It looks like I could see solder flowing through both those points right there. So let's see if that's That's on there. Okay, so I'm going to take my fine point solder tip here. And I'm just adding a little bit of solder to this. And that should be enough to make a good connection. I did just put a little bit of solder on the back of this. Let me grab some fresh solder wick and make sure I get that cleaned up. That should be good enough. Okay, let's take this out of the vise here. I'll put that vise aside. And that is on there nice and strong. Let me grab my Type-C charger. And what we want to do is we want to take our battery, connect it by hand. And then what we're looking for is an orange LED in this top right corner. There we go. So that's always test that before you put this whole thing back together, because I've done that and then had to take the whole damn thing apart again. So always give it a test. But that's what we wanted to see. Orange charging light. So Type-C mod is done. Now we can go ahead and put that motherboard aside and the bottom screen aside. Let's see. Next thing we want to do is start taking the rest of this apart. The top screen ribbon cable is about the oh hey, Ace Console Repairs. The ribbon cable is the whole nightmare of this. You know, when I'm routing the ribbon cable through, if I break that ribbon cable, then I'm gonna have to buy a new top screen. Ace Console Repairs. I assume you do a bit of what I do, but you probably do it more professionally than I do. So I am still kind of learning the process here. I'm getting halfway decent at it, but we are showing all the mistakes I make. I thought people might find that kind of interesting. I haven't made any mistakes where I've broken anything yet, so that's good. But I've made some funny mistakes here and there. So right now I'm taking out the two very long screws for the right side of the hinge. Well, my left at the moment, but when you're looking at it normally, it would be right. And at this point, we can start routing. I'll take any advice I can get. All right. So right now there's a slit that I'm trying to route this ribbon cable through. Once I get that started, it ideally should just pop right out. There we go. That's not the entire nightmare yet of this ribbon cable, though. That's just the first part of it. Okay. Before we take this apart anymore, what we got to do is get these 4 bumpers out. Or pads. I guess I call them bumpers, but they're pads. Now we're doing a new body here, so I'm not worried about keeping these in decent shape. I always tend to replace these anyways with new ones. I beat you to it, buddy. There we go. I still got beard hair, though. I'm thankful for that. Yeah. All right. So there's 4 screws holding in the top panel here. Two, 3, and 4. And then all we got to do is give this a slight pop downwards. We want to separate the top from the bottom. It's a little grippy, but as you can see, I got kind of a crack there now that I can work with. And then it should just pop out once it gets low enough. There we go. That separates the back from the front of the top. All right. Where are we at now? Okay. So I'm gonna just, now I'm not really salvaging this part, so what I'm gonna do is just use my fingers and give it a gentle push. And you should feel the adhesive just start to separate. It's not held in there with very strong adhesive. Just be very careful not to bend the screen. You don't want to apply that much pressure to it. Oop. Which sometimes is a little hard to do. The biggest part of the adhesive is actually at the bottom. I don't care if I crack the plastic on this, but I definitely don't want to. Okay, what the hell is that held in with on the bottom? All right, it's separating. I'm just going to take my time, and there we go. Again, remember the ribbon cable's attached, so don't pull too hard where you just end up ripping the ribbon cable off. Oh, nice. It's a good idea. I don't have a 3D printer here, but I do at my job. my day job. I really like to take the speakers off. I just think it's a lot easier to work with the ribbon cable when the speaker wires are off. They're really simple to solder back onto if you have basic soldering skills. There we go. Okay. And before I route the rest of the ribbon through, this will be exciting for you guys that have experience on this. You might get a good laugh watching me fumble around with this ribbon cable for a while. I really take my time with it. So, but before I take that out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the Wi-Fi antenna. Let me straighten out my cables here so they're not grinding against the ribbon cable. And I'm going to carefully pull out the Wi-Fi antenna. There we go. Put that aside. And we'll do the same thing with the microphone. So last night I actually had one where I kind of failed on it. I don't think it was any fault of my own, but somebody gave me a really busted up DS Classic. I mean, the whole thing was just crumbling in my hands, the entire shell. And it wouldn't power on anymore, but I saw that the top ribbon cable, which is its own separate piece on the DS, was torn. So take the whole thing apart, get it put in a new shell, replace the ribbon cable, and the damn thing still won't power on. I checked the F2 fuse on it, just no luck at all. So that's a project I had to stop last night. But I'm going to put some more energy and thought into that. All right. So here we go. We got to get this ribbon cable twisted here very carefully. I need to pick up some plastic tweezers, some like needle nose tweezers, but I am very careful when I'm using the metal ones here. Oh, I just stuck down the adhesive again. Oh, guys, I'm getting better at this, man. I think this might be the first time I've ever, I guess, what would you say, one-shotted it? Holy crap. You guys might be some good luck for me tonight. All right. Oh, and I just popped a screw down on the ground. Great. I'll find that later. DS Lite schematics. Yeah, these are a lot more popular. This is about my 5th or 6th one that I'm doing. I did have a fun one on the DS Lite the other day. The, what is it called? The IC chip needed to be reflowed on it. Ah, I'm good with it. I got thick skin. That's what happens when you're in your 40s. All right. Let's pull out this new shell and kind of get get everything back into place here. I've been using the what do you call it? eXtremeRate shells. 50s are worse apparently. I'm looking forward to it. These eXtremeRate shells have been pretty good to me so far. They've been able to put up with the abuse of me having to unscrew it and screw it back together multiple times. Okay. If you guys have any tricks on these, I just take my time and get the adhesive off, or not the adhesive, I just peel the glass from the adhesive. It takes me a little bit, but not too long. Yeah, that's pretty well on there. I'll tell you what we'll do. Nope, not that high. I was transferring to some decals the other day at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and that ended up working pretty well for me. We'll give that a shot here. Hopefully it won't do any damage to the screen. Yep. I definitely need more hands. I'm fumbling with that. This one's being a little extra tonight. I usually don't have this much difficulty with it. Ah, crap. That's the only thing. I don't think they give you new adhesive with the, oh yeah, they do. I don't even know why I'm bothering with this. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, guess so. Well, then why didn't I screw up on the ribbon cable? I got to put it back in, so there's time. Let's see. So I'm definitely not doing this professionally yet. I'd like to someday. I do IT for a living right now, and it's been doing it for 20 plus years, so gets a little old after a while, I guess. Oh yeah, I didn't get where I was at professionally without being a little bit humble, right? It is kind of a rare commodity these days, though. Too much ego. Okay. I have to clean the hell out of this screen, that's for sure. I'm actually not even sure if I have to clean all this crap off here, but I don't know. It just feels like if you don't, it's not going to stick as well, and it's just kind of half-assing it, right? All right, get some more Q-tips. All right, let's try and clean up the edges here. Gonna have to get a microfiber cloth in a second. It's a crumbly mess. Okay. Before I keep going on this, though, what I think I'm going to do is get that cable routed. And once it's actually inside the case, we'll get it nice and clean from there. Okay. Where is... There it is. Where the hell did the metal piece go? What the fuck did I do with it? Hopefully that wasn't one of the pieces I dropped. I misplaced the O-ring. Not in there. I like to play a little game on my stream called, what the fuck did I do with that? Oh, there it is. You know? Yeah, but I'm not finding it this time. Ugh. All right. I usually like to use... Yes. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I usually like to use the factory parts as much as I can. So I might swap this out again if I find it in a little bit, but there is one thing I do like about this one. I like it and hate it. The thickness of this is actually a little skinnier, so it should be a little easier to get the ribbon cable through. But with it being a little skinnier, does that mean it's not as sturdy? I'm not sure. Okay. Here's the fun part. Nope, that came undone. Okay, this is the part that's going to take me a while here. Funny story, what got me started on this, one of my kids ended up breaking some pieces on their Switch Lite. And I was like, you know what, I can take care of this. I got all the tools for it. And I just had a blast doing it, so Now I'm trying to turn it into a full-time hobby. Okay. Wow, that just came completely undone. All right. I was wondering if I can just get it through here. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Once I can get good at this ribbon cable, I can try and go professional at this. I figure it's gonna take me about like what, 10 more of them? Oh, come on. No. I almost had it. Switches. Um, I had fun working on the Switch. The most fun I actually had recently was working on the GameCube. Actually, I'm gonna show this one off. I'm pretty proud of it. I'll take a break from this for a couple seconds. Kind of did a mix of a Reshell and some hand painting. I kind of like doing that cell shaded look. That's a very bright neon green. It's not coming on the camera very well. But I just got done customizing this whole thing. Put it in a see-through purple shell. Almost looks like a Joker theme. Ended up, this emblem on the top was completely scratched up. Never polished plastic once in my life. Learned how to polish the plastic on this. And then this is kind of a silly one, but my favorite thing is I took all the decals off with my hot air gun, and all of it came off perfectly. Slapped those all on the console to make it look as authentic as I could. So this by far was one of the most fun consoles to work on for me. It's even got the what do you call it, the Pico loader chip in it. So I just got done with that about a night or two ago, I think. No time to play with it, but had fun building it. So what I ended up doing is making a friend on somebody who actually goes to like garage sales and buys out you know, foreclosed storage units and stuff like that. And he's got an insane amount of stock, and he likes what I do, so he had some faith in me and started giving me projects to work on, while also building up my own personal collection. He's helping me do that because I need systems to work on and troubleshoot with. So I highly recommend trying to make a friend that does that. It's working out well for me so far. Okay. Almost got it. Okay. There we go. Well, what I got to do next then is let's grab the motherboard, make sure I didn't tear anything. Yeah, I've been doing I don't know why, I just kind of like the whole cell shaded look. I didn't see a whole lot of people doing it. Um, like this is my own personal Game Boy Advance. I went a little wild on this one. I have some glow in the dark teal buttons on it. I did a really bright orange paint job, and I did some purple wear marks on it basically. I've been having fun with it though. I don't know if it'll sell very well that way, but like I said, they're for me, so just kind of having some fun with it. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's the one thing I always forget. Put the damn Wi-Fi card back in. I don't know how many times I've forgotten to do that. I know if I don't put this backing on, I'm probably going to end up snapping that ribbon cable. Okay. And battery. Crossing fingers. Hey, we got picture. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely need some more fun in my life. So I'm trying. Okay. So the rest of this should be hopefully a breeze. Let's see what we got to do here. Um, all right, let's go for cables. Don't you fall out of there. Okay. Go with the speaker first. Okay. Then let's go with the Wi-Fi cable. Get that cable tucked in. Okay. Now let's get the speakers back on. Oh, come on. There we go. And the last speaker. There we go. All right, before we get those speakers in, we are... Oh, this one stayed with the speaker, but there's a speaker ring on there. So that one's okay to just pop back in. The other one stayed. Oh, no, it didn't because I took it out. But we'll make sure we get that speaker ring back in. Okay, now we just got to tuck the cables for it. And we got one more thing we got to do before we're done with putting this back together. Come on, tuck in there. Actually, we better do that before we tuck that cable because it'll want to untuck itself. We got to get that adhesive down. Okay. Go ahead and pop that screen out one more time. Okay. Oh, don't stick to whatever you want. Great. Oh, come on. Go where I want you to. Almost there. This side's just creeping a little low. Why are you going in crooked? I'm good at every other type of decal except for this. Come on. There we go. Not too bad. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show. I'm sure there'd be a lot more cursing if I didn't have an audience right now. Okay. That looks good. Just need to clean up that screen. All right, so we'll get these speakers reseated, get all the wires flowed through right, and get the backing closed up to this. Okay. Right in all the way. There we go. All right, that's the top screen mostly done. That's exciting. Oh, I save it for special moments. Usually wait till I really fuck something up. Or like when I put the whole thing back together and then I find that one last piece that should have gone in. That's a good cursing moment right there. All right, so I am getting anxious to get this last ribbon part done. Let's see, can I do that? Okay. Just gotta get these two wires through, make sure it doesn't snag the damn ribbon cable. All right. Very cool. Except it won't pop in all the way. There we go. All right. Let's get the hinge in. Now the hinge I didn't pull out yet. Oh, that's the wrong piece, but that's fine. Okay, hinge is in. Okay, this part I always forget, but I didn't forget it today. But I do gotta find it. There it is. I always forget the diffuser. Always. This is the first time I'm not forgetting it. Except it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay. There we go. That's lined up. I think. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. This is more action than I usually get. Let's see if that double click is there. 1, 2. Very cool. All right, well, most of the hard part's done now. Let me get a drink. I think that deserves a drink. All right. So, let's get our button kits out. We're going to need that in a bit. I'm going to try and use the stock membranes, though. Hey. Thanks for the follow, Spanky. Appreciate it. All right. I got to remember what color order that these go in. Should be on my screen picture. Let's see. All right, there we go. So we got a black D-pad, white buttons, blue start and reset. I usually do blue shoulder buttons on this shell too. Actually, I think everything else I do blue on this. So we'll keep the shoulder buttons, we'll keep the volume button, power button, and we'll pop in the start and select. Let's pull out that black D-pad. It's not really black, it's actually more of a gray. Same thing. And we'll pull out our white ABXY buttons. There we go. Can't believe I just did that without pulling out any other buttons. All right, so is on the inside, I think. We got A, which should be on the outside. X should be on top. And B on the bottom. Actually surprised I memorized that. Alright. Let's see how clean these are. Yeah, they're a little grimy. That's to be expected. How long have I been streaming tonight? Hour and a half? Eesh. How long, realistically, should this take me if I'm going to make a living out of it? I don't feel like an hour and a half is necessarily up to par if you're trying to make money. Alright, pop our stock membranes back into place. And we should actually clean the other side of these too. Good Lord. What the hell was on the bottom of these? Those were dirty. Is that what it is, really? You kind of just do them if you're slow, or I wouldn't say if you're slow would be the only option. I mean, I guess if you sometimes you just got to eat a couple to keep the clients happy, right? I don't even know if that's a good idea. Oh, come on now. Okay. All right, time to get this bottom screen taken care of. I hope the adhesive on this one's a little bit easier. Oh, that's right. I can rip the adhesive off on this one too. I got the new digitizer that I picked up already has adhesive built into it. That came off clean. Sorry, it might get loud for a second. Yeah, we're gonna get some alcohol on this screen. Okay. Ugh. Gotta love when the adhesive just gets all over the screen. Just takes a couple alcohol cleanses and then it eventually all comes off. It's the one thing I can't stand with screens, so I spend like more time than I should on them sometimes. If there's even a speck of dust on it, I'm like, nope, I wouldn't want that. Keep going with the adhesive there. All right, break out the fan again. There we go. All right, let's get that digitizer out. Okay. What the hell happened? Oh, it's got double. It's got adhesion, protection, and a cover for the glass. Okay. That looks clean. So let's get that attached to the board. let's get the ribbon cable in for the digitizer. These new ribbons are so stiff. Make sure that snaps all the way down. Oh, snap. Okay. So let's set that into place. You know what? Before we do that, really need to make sure I clean the board here. Especially with how dirty those damn membranes were. Some nasty gunk down here. Anywhere else? Yeah, a little bit here. And let me get a toothbrush into that Game Boy Advance slot. All right. All right, now this thing can get set in here. Oh, Jesus. Maybe I should plug in the top screen cable first. How pissy would I have been at that point if, like, I get this thing back together. I'm like, wait a minute. Forgot something important. All right, there we go. Well, that needs to be routed differently. Okay. The Wi-Fi cable kind of had it off to the wrong side. No big deal. All right, am I forgetting anything? Wi-Fi card, but not yet. I don't think I am. Let's go ahead and get the motherboard screws in. I'll get that microphone cable plugged in. There we go. And let's get this damn Wi-Fi cable routed through here. This came out nice and easy. If I'm lucky, it'll go back in nice and easy. Nope, it's curving up. Been losing patience for this part more often these days. And end up just soldering just heating up the solder here on the DS cartridge slot and giving it just a little bit of a tug up. Come on. There we go. I don't know if it's just me giving it that tiny little bit of a lift that is actually truly helping it, or if it's just coincidental. Come on, heat up. Oh, man, that is not heating up. It's acting like a big old heat sink. Come on, you got it. Ah. Yeah, up the heat on that just a little bit. There we go. All right, that's slightly lifted off the board. Let's see if I got any luck. Come on. Oh, it's poking. Come on. Get out of there. There we go. Okay. Let's get that back down. Okay, that's down. I see a problem with the microphone cable too. Got to fix that routing there. Let's see if I can get that routed right without having to reseat the whole thing. No, I'm gonna have to lift that. Well, gotta take the screws out. Okay, stay. Yeah, I think we got it this time. Okay. Wi-Fi antennas in. Let's I'm gonna put the backing on real quick just to see if that lines up flush. Yeah, that should. Should be good to go there. Well, actually not sure. Like it's that damn microphone cable again. I can't stand gaps in these things. Yeah, microphone cable came loose again. First of all, I think it actually routes better through the touchscreen cable. Hot glue, huh? I might actually try that. I don't have my hot glue gun set up right now, but that's something I think I'll try the next time I do one of these. Come on. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little bit better seated. All right, now I'm feeling confident. We can put the screws back in. And I think we can get the shoulder buttons on. Okay. Let's get that seated. Make sure the spring's facing the right way. And let's try and set that down. There we go. And let's try and seat the spring. Nice. I think I sucked at that the first couple times. It's getting easier. All right. Oh, what the hell? I'm glad I just tested that. We had a passenger there. Still do. Come on, get out of there. All right. Cool. What else do we need to do? We need... Well, we need to transfer the cartridge slot protector. Yeah, it's actually a really good idea, though. I'm sorry, that's coming back to my mind right now. Just thinking about all the times I struggled with that cable, and it's like, yeah, why didn't I just try hot glue? Just a dab. Would have kept it in place, wouldn't have to worry about it. I think I get overwhelmed pretty quick sometimes when, like, I can do this. I'm not worried about that, but if it, like, comes to thinking of the simplest stuff, I'm like, nope, gotta stay focused. Since you guys take these apart too, what the hell is this piece? I can't think of what its purpose is. No idea what to call it either. All right. Now we gotta get our buttons in, and I need that little square piece. $15 years. Oh man, you've been in the gaming stuff that long, huh? I've played games, for a very long time. I mean, I'm 42 years old, so what was the first system I ever personally owned was Sega Master System. And then Sega Genesis after that, PlayStation 1. I played stuff. Never got into fixing it. Actually, I got some regrets too. I had a brand new DS Lite, and some girl I was dating at the time just ended up throwing it in the wash by accident. I only had it for like a month, and I know it had water damage to it, but now that I know what I know now, it's like I might have been able to recover it, replace some fuses on it or something, and I just ended up tossing it in the trash. Regrets for sure. All right, so got the volume button down here. And where'd I put the power button? Ah, come on now. Ultrasonic, yeah, and I have an ultrasonic cleaner too. What kind of cleaning solution do you guys use for the ultrasonic cleaners? It's distilled water, I imagine, but wasn't sure if you were to use any solution or not. Simple green, okay. I actually use that on the other things I would throw in the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm not sure what I did with the power button. I had it at one point in time. It's probably just blending in with the mat here somewhere, but I'm not going to make that big of a fuss over a color of the buttons here when it comes to the power and the volume. A little bit more variety with this style won't do it any harm anyways. I think I might... do I have that in backwards? We're about to find out. No, that looks like it lines up okay. Ooh, I almost forgot something. Oh, that would have sucked. Where are you at? Need the thing to hold the battery door down. There we go. And they gave me something else for that too. Okay. Think I got it all this time. Hopefully. I'm gonna be annoyed as hell if I have to bust this open again. Nope. 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 Oh, come on, no. I'm not even sure why that went down then. Oh, come on, don't do that. I'm thinking I might have that in backwards. Spring came loose, but that's okay. Nah, I can't have that in backwards, do I? No, there's no way. Nope, that's lined up. There we go. Okay, let's put a battery in this thing and test it out real quick. Cool. Touchscreen works. Good. All right. We're in the home stretch now. Okay, so we got the two Phillips head top screws. Are those even the right size? Has to be. There we go. All right, let's get our tri-wing bit. What am I at now? 2 hours and 11 minutes. Jesus. These screws are a little gross. Okay. Last screw. There we go. No gaps. That's good. What battery do we have for this? Okay. Cameron Sino. And if I can, I like to try and salvage this screw. Come on, I got it started. Well, as soon as you go to turn it, though. Come on, you're almost off. Thanks, Spanky. Appreciate that. I would hope so after 2.5 hours. I am trying to accomplish something here. Now you did. It's a little comforting though that you were saying these just aren't that profitable to do. I mean, at least I know it's not just me. Now there's got to be an easier way with this. There we go. I just got to find out. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, that's isn't that kind of new? Like, didn't people just figure that one out? Or you? I was reading about that the other day. You can like what quadruple the RAM on an OG Xbox, but you need a donor RAM from other ones, right? Or am I thinking of the PlayStation? There was something you needed donor RAM for it. You could still. Oh, you could buy the RAM new. That's interesting. I am having a lot of fun doing all the soldering projects. That's not something I would definitely attempt anytime soon, but I'll be looking forward to the day when I can do that. I didn't even know how to reflow until, I don't know, a month ago. Okay, okay. Huh. I might be mixing them up, but maybe it's just true on both that I'm not aware of. Okay. What else do I need here? I know I'm not done yet. We need to install pads. We need to install the top screen screws. We can do that right now. We need to clean the top screen. And this thing was actually missing a dust cover like all DS Lites typically are, it seems like. So I did buy a dust cover PCB for this. Spanky, what are you streaming on? I wouldn't mind checking that out. Okay. I'll find you. I'll follow you from this chat. Let's see. Since we were missing the dust cover, I do need to get one screw for that. Are all these screws just Phillips head? Well, that kind of sucks. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, good. That might be too long of a screw. Yeah, I'm just going to use a... We'll use a Phillips head for this. It's just a dust cover. Okay. There we go. All right, let's get this done. Um, just get this screen nice and clean, and then we'll get the lens cover on for it. Get all the sticky pads in there. Sorry, I'm a bit meticulous with this. Like I said, it's I can't stand dust on a screen, smudges, fingerprints, anything like that. Nope. There's like a couple sticky spots on here that are just being stubborn. Okay. And where is the white rim for this? There it is. All right. Let me know if I'm doing this part wrong, but there's like this impossible layer to get off. But every time I stick it down beforehand, it will end up coming off if I just, like if I pop it on here and then take it off, it actually leaves the protective layer here. So I've been taking this thing off. It takes me a while to get it going. And I could tell because there's like little scratches on it too, but as soon as I take that off, there's no scratches. There we go. It's just so hard to get this one off. Okay. So last part is the bumpers. And I gotta test the cartridge slots too. Actually, before I do the bumpers, let's do that. All right. This is the best freebie game I've ever gotten. It's Imagine Ballet Star. Definitely fits my personality. Okay. Somebody actually really played this though. Named Swan. It's actually pretty cool. All right, up, down, left, right works. A works no problem. B seems to work. Not sure about X and Y yet, but we'll try that on the next game. All right. Try some Yoshi's Island. All right, so test input. Oh, nope. Confirm. Um, change all this stuff later. All right. Yep, got to reboot. Thanks, Mankey. Appreciate you hanging out with me the entire time, man. It was fun. Ooh. Not reading a game pack. No game pack inserted, huh? Try that again. There we go. Single player. Your save data is corrupted. Okay, we got dirty pins or something. This is my cartridge, which I'm fairly certain is in good shape. I did take a brush to this with alcohol. Yeah, it's got to be dirty pins. That's okay. That's an easy fix. Okay. Trying to think here. I need a game that I can do X and Y. Of course, that's not going to work on a Game Boy Advance game. But I'm pretty confident that those are working. I'll test them on my own time. Let's go ahead and just finish up these bumpers. All right, where'd my tweezers go? There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Just ripping the paper. Nope, stay put. All right. So these will be the last two pads. I know there's two pads on the back that I need to get to, but it looks like I might need to pop this off one more time just to get that Game Boy Advance cartridge very clean. I'll inspect the pins too, just in case. I doubt the pins are damaged. These side bumpers are a little bit of a pain sometimes, but I just end up massaging it in there and eventually it all lays flat. There we go. Okay. So that was a full reshell tonight. I use the eXtremeRate Monster Index shell. I really like eXtremeRate. Their stuff lasts pretty good. It takes my abuse that I put into it anyways. Now let's go ahead and put that sticker in there. eXtremeRate kind of has their own serial number sticker that they give you. Of course, it's not like the AliExpress stuff where it'll actually say it's Nintendo logos and stuff like that. There's a time and place for that I like, but these eXtremeRate shells on the DS Lites are really good quality stuff. There we go. So what else did we do besides the reshell? We replaced the reshell comes with a top lens, so that'll take all the scratches out of that. I did have to buy a bottom digitizer so that all the scratches came off the bottom digitizer. What else did we do? Type-C port. We installed a Type-C port, rechargeable. Oh, and we installed a Cameron Sino battery. So this is fully refurbished for my my hookup that buys and sells gaming gear. Let me just get a test on this real quick with the charger. And what we want is an orange light. And we got it. So I'm going to let that charge for a little bit. I am going to open this up one more time and clean out the Game Boy Advance slot, make sure it actually loads the game every single time. But I'm going to do that off stream. There's no reason to bore you guys with it. Plus, it's getting late here. It's about 2:30 in the morning, or sorry, 12:30 in the morning. I'm on the West Coast. So appreciate all the people that stopped by tonight and watched my stream and chatted with me. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys come back next time. Please give me a follow. It definitely helps my cause. The more parts that I can purchase to do these streams, the more I'll do in the future here. But anyways, yeah, like I said, appreciate it. Do I have anything going on tomorrow? Yeah, I have some Xbox originals that I have to crack open, and I've never cracked open an Xbox original. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that tomorrow night, though. I might need a break to handle some actual work. But I'll definitely do that, I'd say Wednesday at the latest, if I don't end up doing it tomorrow. So, yep. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.